2 videos in one day? I think so. Let's break down Moxie's team, the Chicago Blackflocks. Let's do it. Alright guys, here is the team. Let's talk gears. Let's get right into it. 2 major gears here. I'm not going to give you 3 today because I don't really see 3. First gear is around Gmax Charizard, obviously being super strong, being able to get those max airstreams off for a speed boost, the wildfire off to get some damage over time. It's going to be really strong. Obviously, no direct sun setter for this team in regards to like Drought or any of the sun teams that are currently based in the league. So it's going to be very important to see how the Gmax Charizard and the Venusaur pair together, and whether we see any move coming off that's going to proc Chlorophyll for Venusaur, or whether it's just going to be sitting on the sidelines with some speed stat investment. Second big gear here is going to be around Klefki. Klefki, obviously super strong with Prankster. It's got the ability to run Light Clay, it's got screens, it's got Play Rough. It can do some damage. It's not the highest damaging thing, but overall a very strong Pokemon to bring beside any of his pairings here that can really dish out some defensive stats. Next up, let's talk Poke highlights from the top. We've got our boy Gmax Charizard looking fire. Just hot black fire. We don't need any more Charizard forms. I'm sorry, come fight me. Fight me in the comments down below. We have Gmax Wildfire coming off. It can run Heat Wave, it can run Flamethrower. Overall though, we're not going to see too much in the sense of, I would expect non-Gmax Charizard. He could definitely run it after the fact, like run it through its max moves and have regular Charizard on the field still with solar power here. But overall, I see very high potential for him to be G-maxing this thing, getting a Wildfire off, and then setting some speed with Max Airstream. Next up, we have Venusaur, regular Venusaur, not a G-max version. Super strong, still the same kind of set as before. It's got Solar Beam, it's got Frenzy Plant, it's got Sludge Bomb, Earth Power, Protect, Sleep Powder. It's just a overall monster of moves and semi-supportive sets depending on whether he can get Sun in the air. Next up, we got our boy Hitmontop. Hitmontop, pretty awesome Pokemon overall. It's got Fake Out, it's got potential to do large amounts of damage, it can set itself up with speed with Rapid Spin, but it's also got the new move Triple Axle, which can have some great coverage options for the team. Following that, we have Klefki, one of the primary leads for this team, I would expect. It's Prankster, it can run Light Clay, it can run screens, it can set up the sun as well. A lot of potential for Klefki depending on the set and depending on what his sweeper for the week will be. Can't wait to see how it works out in week number 1 for him. Following that, we have one of the most tanky, demonic Pokemon in my opinion in Mandibuzz. Mandibuzz just becomes such a demon to deal with if you're running a defensive set. It can roost, it can get those foul plays off. It's just so hard to deal with, on top of the fact that it can set Tailwind for a team. After that, we got our boy Berserker right here, the lovely new Meowth form. I love how its hands are gold. They look ready to do some damage. Strong Steel typing on it as well, to be able to get those Iron Heads off, and its signature ability, Steely Spirit, to come into play. Next up, we have our boy Magnetric, looking real strong, real beautiful with its shiny form. Obviously, a great Lightning Rod user, also can run Static for its ability, making sure to get out some major damage with Thunderbolt, Volt Switch, or Overheat. Strong bring overall, but still lacking a Mega now, not as great as some of the other electric types that could have been drafted. Next up, we have Mudsdale, a great Pokemon under Trick Room. Super strong, super bulky with the Assault Vest and its Stamina boost, to be able to just get in, deal out some good damage with its max moves, and also become such a tanky monster if it gets hit by any attack. Next up, we have our boy Slowking. He is looking super strong in this team. He has the ability to set Trick Room. He has the Regenerator ability, so he could come in and out and in and out and really make sure that he lasts on that field for a while. He can run various weather typing as well if he needs to change the weather. He's got the strong moves in Surf, Scald, Psychic, Protect obviously being a great option to kind of protect and stall out a turn. Following that, we have Drampa. Drampa, not the best Pokemon to bring here, but good coverage in Dragon Normal type. Obviously, its ability Berserk, once it gets lower on health, proccing and becoming super strong to drop a Draco on something. And finally, for last, we have Togepi. Togepi, super strong, just like all of its evolutionary line, and even in its weakest baby-like form, can still deal massive amounts of support out with its abilities to use Life Dew, the Follow Me potential, to ensure, like, an Eviolite is on it now. it just becomes such a versatile Pokemon, even in its smallest form. You shouldn't be surprised that the whole evolutionary line for them was picked up this season. Alright, next up we talk leads. Leads we already kind of discussed in the gears, but we'll run through them again. We've got Gmax Charizard. I can see this being a potential lead with Klefki or with Togepi being really strong out front just to get that damage up, dish it hard, and then make sure that even after it's Dynamax, it's still able to live and dish out some more damage with those heat waves. Secondary to that, for leads, we're going to see Klefki in anything. I really think Klefki coming out front, whether it's with Berserker or Mandibuzz just to tank or do some major damage. We've got Charizard and Slowking to potentially set Trick Room and set screens, and even Klefki Togepi would be a strong option out front to make sure that nothing is really going to get done before they finish setting up. I think the gaps for this team are probably going to be around damage output. The matches that the Chicago Blackflock are going to play, and Moxie specifically, are going to be longer paced matches, I think, than what we're going to normally expect. Most of the time, when your Dynamax pops off, a couple things are dying every time. But with this team, even with Gmax Charizard, there's not a lot of high damage output after that without some setup. So it'll be very interesting to see whether these longer matches are in the favor of Moxie or in the favor of the enemy who has more time to set up. Finally, the match to watch here is going to be week number 1 of the WBE. We'll link it above there because this video will be out after the matches go live. So go give it a watch and check out and see whether I was right with my predictions on some of the leads that were coming out front. Let me know in the comments below if I was right. There you have it, guys. That is Chicago Blackflock and team captain Moxie. That's really hard to say now that I realize it. The Chicago Blackflock. As always, make sure to go give Moxie a like and check out his draft video, which will be right up over here. And then make sure you click that subscribe button up over here. That way you can see all the content we're putting out for the WBE. We'll catch y'all for the next one. Peace.